and you're seeing him frequently because he is really rushing right on through his Confident Communicator Manual, which is terrific. So this is project number 7. Getting right up there.
Wow.
An interesting topic called Internet Love. And so our first speaker is Jeremy Nunnally, and he has, first of all, a good habit, which is to eat oatmeal every day. That's a very good habit.
Yes.
And something that he calls a bad habit of self-sabotage, which is being too nice to everybody. So not sure about that one, Jeremy, but please welcome Jeremy to talk about Internet Love.
Thank you very much, Carol. So first I get to tell you an entertaining story about a date I went on. And in fact, this was a girl that I met via Match.com. So we went on a couple dates. She had a lot of stuff in common with me. Really liked her. She's a cute girl, very important. Top of the list, cute girl. She lived near me, which is hugely important in this city. Can't date a girl that lives in downtown and expect to go on a date after work. She's a smart girl. She went to Berkeley. She was into, culture, things I liked. So we went on a few dates, and the first date, I guess the second date, the first date, here's the trick, is you're supposed to invite them to the bar, right, for a drink. So you're only out a total of $10, something like that. So after she passed the qualifying round, she said, okay, date number 2, I want to plan this one. Okay, and so she told me that it was going to be at the California Science Museum. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
I looked it up. I'm like, okay, this is interesting. She's proving that she's a smart, quirky girl. Let's see what's going to happen. And I go there, and there's kids everywhere. Why are we at this date at this museum with all these kids? I don't know, but I kind of had fun. They had a butterfly exhibit. Something like that. It was kind of interesting. So I flowed with it and I had fun. I think that we had a good date. A couple other weird things happened along the way though. Another date that she brought me on, she told me about her culinary skills. I'd asked, so what do you like to make? What's your favorite dish to make? She's like, well, there's this quick dish that I really like, and I use pasta noodles, which are really easy. I can boil in a couple of minutes. And then I pour a can of soup on top. People wouldn't think it's good, but I get like some, it was clam chowder, and I pour it on the top, and it makes an instant pasta dish, and it's amazingly delicious. I'll make it for you. It doesn't sound so delicious. I don't know if you guys have the same impression that I did. But she came over, and she made this dish for me. It was bad. It was bad. And on top of that, we went to Whole Foods. I had bought sushi as a backup. She told me she wasn't hungry, so she was going to make the pasta dish for me. But she said, I might have a little bit of sushi. So she ends up eating the sushi while I'm eating and I'm choking down. That's horrible. Anyway, a few dates went on, and I had to give her the talk, and I was like, I really like you, but things don't really feel like they're clicking. Maybe this isn't a good match for us. And she suddenly said, you know what, I really like you. I hope there's some way we can make this work. She's like, and there's something I need to tell you, but I need to see you in person. Be very scared, gentlemen. Very scared. So I said, no, why don't you tell me right now? And she's like, are you sitting down? I'm scared. I'm very scared. And she said, what was my major in college? I can't remember. I thought it was psychology. And she's like, yes. And I have a friend that's doing a psychology experiment, and she needed some subjects. She needed some help. So I agreed to go on a couple dates. And she's like, so what I did is I went on a couple dates, and I threw in just like a little something to mess up the date and to see how the person did, and then I took notes on it and I sent it back to her. But she said, in this process, I discovered that I really liked you, and you had all these great qualities. And so I'm like, so when did you stop taking the test? Or stop doing the test? She's like, well, I'm still kind of doing the test. But I like you, but I promise to stop doing these. Anyway, didn't work out with this girl. But I want to tell you a little bit about internet dating and why it could work. It has worked. I'll give you 2 examples of success. Maybe it was just me. It didn't work for me. I think I've been dating a girl, and I met her, from a friend of a friend, as it always happens, right? But it did work for my sister. My sister's been married for 2 years, and she met her match. I believe it was, what's the eHarmony, and I have another aunt that's been married for 4 years now, and she met online as well. So I know that this is there's a possibility for success out there. So let me tell you a little bit about the numbers. Online dating is exploding right now. It's went from $900 million in revenue in 2007. They predict in 2012 it'll be at $1.9 billion. So this is increasing 16% every year. More people are doing it than you know. There's 63 million people in the United States that have used online dating at some point. That's 31% of all American adults, according to ComScore Networks. Wired magazine forecasts that in 20 years from now, the idea that someone looking for love without looking for it online will be silly, akin to skipping the card catalog or the computer to instead wander the stacks because the right books are only found by accident. Serendipity is the hallmark of inefficient markets, and the marketplace of love, like it or not, is becoming more inefficient. So why is it growing? There's more options. You already have the option of meeting somebody in Toastmaster. Has that happened? I'm sure it's happened somewhere. Or at work, or at a bar. This just increases your options. You put more on the top of the funnel, there's more success come out the bottom of the funnel. Online, it's a little bit less emotionally risky. You aren't going to have to know this person. They're not going to have to know your friends if it doesn't work out. But there are problems. There are creepers. There are people that will do social media experiments on you. Watch out for them. And then tell you that they're in love with you. Internet dating, there's a problem for men. You have to send 4 times as many messages as women do. But that's like real life though too, right?
Or girl breasts.
Also, there's a lot of fake profiles out there. That's what Match does. They'll have like a lot of profiles, and even though the person isn't paying, they'll still show their profile, and you'll message them, and they won't write you back. So it's like shouting into a hole. So to do it right, number 1, find a site that fits you really well. There's things like JDate for Jewish people, or Christian Mingle for Christian people. Match has more girls than guys. eHarmony has more girls than guys. The opposite for Match. So find the site that really fits what you're looking for, and put your best effort into it. It's really just going to increase your odds of success in finding that special person. In conclusion, this is an inevitable transition. This is another way. This is probably going to become the main way people start to date. It's just easier. It takes that social awkwardness out of it. So, forget the stigma. Try it out. Use some normal dating precautions. Watch out for creepers, and stay safe. Have fun. Thank you, everyone.
If everyone would take